America, land of the free, home of the endless aisles in the grocery store. But despite sometimes feeling like they've got it all, there are many things that actually manage to elude most Americans.
What are some things we don't have here in America, but we do have over there in the UK? To get to the bottom of this question, we have chosen a video by YouTuber Evan Edinger, who is an American living in the UK, and he's also become a British citizen.
Congratulations!
The video is entitled 7 British Things We Don't Have in America. Please show Evan some love and check out his channel too.
What's a toilet brush? Well, this might blow your mind as a Brit. What do you mean you don't have toilet brushes in the States? I've seen what you eat. First off, rude. Secondly, true. But in America, we always have a plunger next to the toilet in case there's a clog. It's rare, but that's it. Toilets in America are much deeper and have much more water than British toilets do.
I want to sort of wade in here. Not literally, I don't want to wade into the toilet.
Figuratively speaking.
Yes, I've always had a toilet brush here.
Me too. Now I think about it, I think almost every bathroom I've been to, like in someone's home, has.
I'm going to look on American Amazon and see if they do actually sell toilet brushes in America, just to prove the point.
Okay.
There we go. Yep, I thought so. Very handy, this one. This is a dual toilet brush and plunger. It's a very important job cleaning the toilet.
That's something hopefully we can all agree on. I think this might be just a him thing.
Yeah, maybe student accommodation or something.
I'm pretty sure even in those, though, they would.
I know. I've lived in 2 different states, and both states sold me toilet brushes when requested.
Please let us know, other Americans or people living in America, do you own a toilet brush? Did you have any trouble tracking one down? I think we got ours from Costco, like we get most of our things.
Yeah.
Now, I'd say the idea of needing to brush away poo with a toilet brush is inevitably going to gross out a lot of Americans that have never heard of this before, because, to be honest, it is pretty gross. But the most embarrassing thing about all of this is living with other British people, being a full-grown adult, and having them go, "Why has no one ever taught you how to use a toilet brush before?" And you have to be like, "I didn't even know that's what that thing was in the corner. I didn't know what that was for. I thought maybe you use it like when you clean the bathroom, maybe every 2-3 weeks when you do a big clean of the house." Fair, that's what you use it for. Not after every individual.
Clean the bathroom every 2 to 3 weeks. Sorry, my voice went very high there. Come on, Evan, really? No.
2 to 3 days at least, surely.
Oh, yeah, surely. There is more water in American toilets. Sometimes they're lower, aren't they?
And I believe in America there's a more powerful flush because in the UK and in Europe there's more regulations about water usage and things like that.
Yeah, the design is different, isn't it?
Yeah,
for sure.
so they're meant to use less water. So perhaps you would need to clean your toilet more in the UK.
Yeah, but I have to say, you can still get skid marks.
We got new toilets recently, and apparently they are self-cleaning. They seem to spiral more, the water and it's meant to, I mean, I still clean the toilet.
Yeah.
Because I think it's the right thing to do.
Now I've got a really nice little toilet brush that tucks itself away whenever you're finished using it. So it's hidden, it's small. I like it. I think it looks better than most toilet brushes.
That's exactly the same as my toilet brush. That's the exact one I have.
Oh, perhaps he's been to Costco in the UK.
Maybe, yes.
Number 2, if you're someone with a uterus, it will cause you some pain, at least once a month. One thing I found odd living with so many different women in the UK is during that special time of the month, they always request one thing: a hot water bottle or a hot water bottle. Imagine my confusion the first time someone asked me for that. Like, "Oh, Evan, do you mind picking me up a hot water bottle when you're out?" Come again? Where do I get one of those? Greg's? Like, yeah, can I get a sausage roll, a yum yum, and where do you guys keep your hot water bottles? I didn't know. Jokes aside, it turns out a hot water bottle is a bottle of water heated up and placed in a soft fabric. They're usually sold as a whole item. It's not like you just put a water bottle in fabric. I guess you could, but some people like to place them on their stomachs during cramps, and others like to heat theirs up before putting it under the covers with them to keep them warm. Now, I personally would prefer just buying a higher tog duvet for those winter months, but that's just me. I don't get menstrual cramps, so that is my privilege.
I don't think there's going to be any comparison between getting a nice cozy hot water bottle and just putting another blanket over you.
No,
it's not the same.
the same.
I think hot water bottles are just nice during the winter time anyway.
Yeah, I remember my mum used to always make me a hot water bottle, and it was a treat because not only did I have this lovely hot water bottle that she put in, you know, a while before I got to bed, so it was all nice and warm.
Warm the bed,
but she would actually do it for me, and it was a real little treat.
And they are incredible. They stay warm on and on and on. Yeah, they're well insulated. I remember when we were children, we had hot water bottles, and they would be in like animal covers.
So like when you weren't using him, you just put him on your bed with your other cuddlies, and
exactly.
he'd look well in place.
Yeah.
There's something really weird that people do as a test, a challenge to get into the Guinness Book of World Records. It's these strong men who blow a water bottle up until it explodes.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
I would say don't try this at home because an exploding rubber material in your face probably is not to be recommended.
Just thinking about it, I've never seen them anywhere in America. I've never seen them in the supermarkets, on the shelves. No one's ever talked about hot water bottles.
Now, Britain is a really, really rainy isle, and pretty much every Brit I've met from as young as 8 to as old as 90 owns a pair of wellies, the cute word for Wellington boots, which are quite rare in the US. Being in Britain, you're just expected to know what a wellie is, and when you're invited to go to a festival, you're told everyone there will be in wellies, but, well, I've never owned a pair. They're mostly used here for country walks, which is one of the biggest British pastimes. We do have rain boots in the States, but the style of long rubber tube that's so much in Britain isn't really as big a thing. They do exist, just not as big. Now, growing up in New Jersey, I think myself and many Americans owned a pair of duck boots from LL Bean. They're also where I get like my flannels from, like this one. They're kind of like the Americana outdoorsy brand version of John Lewis, if that makes sense. Duck boots are like peak rainwear men's fashion in America. Though, if you've never seen them before today, I'd love to hear what you think of them, because I feel like some people probably hate the way they look, but I don't know. I think they look good for rain boots.
Have you ever heard of duck boots?
I haven't.
No.
They didn't seem very high, so if they were deep puddles, you'd get your ankles wet, wouldn't you?
Yes, this is where the welly really excels. It's at least mid-calf, if not higher.
Indeed, and they are just an institution in the UK, aren't they? They're part of us, they're part of our tradition. Small children love putting their wellies on, and they go out in the rain and splash in the puddles. Ours are fun.
And you can really use them to express your personality. I remember I had a pair of sparkly pink ones.
Of course.
Of course. Oh, I loved those wellies. They were just amazing. But, you know, even adults will wear fun colours or designs.
Or the Hunters are quite an expensive upmarket brand, aren't they?
Yes.
Hunter wellies.
Yes.
It's very posh, you know.
Indeed.
Rich farmer.
Yes, indeed.
And another thing, Paddington Bear often wears red wellies. Can't get much better than that.
You mentioned what a cute word wellies is.
Yes.
And I think that's because it's short for Wellington boot, isn't it?
That's correct.
Yeah, named after the Duke of Wellington.
Correct.
Squash in the UK normally refers to 3 nouns. One is the same vegetable we have in the States, and the other 2 are similar enough, but also comically different if you come from a different country like I do. At this point, I'd lived in the UK for over a year or so I was staying over at a friend's house, and it turns out they had squash. I had heard Brits really loved squash, so I poured myself a glass, and good lord, did I wince. You know, Brits always love bullying Americans for how sugary their food and their drink is, but Jesus, that cup of squash was so much like liquid sugar. Like, it was both thin and thick at the same time, like maple syrup, like someone condensed 2 bottles of Sunny D into a single glass.
Oh, poor guy.
I know, because that is strong stuff. I can't imagine drinking that without any water in it.
No, me neither. I bet that was a nasty shot.
I bet it was.
Now, I'm assuming this is a common mistake for migrants to make the move to the UK, but squash refers to not only the drink you make with squash, but also squash. So it's a bottle of concentrated sugar and fruit syrup that you mix with like 5, 6, 7 parts water, but it's also the drink that you mix together. So how was I to know I was supposed to mix, all right? You don't think someone says they drink a drink and you're supposed to like read the instructions that say mix it with things.
Another funny little tidbit for Americans visiting the UK, squash is also what we call racquetball.
It's a very popular sport in the UK.
Very popular, yes.
Yeah.
So we have the vegetable, the drink, and a game. Maybe there's others, I don't know. If we've forgotten anything, let us know.
But this isn't just any ordinary squash. This is the most popular flavor of it. And in fact, one of the most popular fruity flavors in all of Britain that is practically non-existent in the States. And that, of course, is blackcurrant. Brits just love blackcurrants, and they use the flavor in everything. Pies, jams, drinks, medicines, Skittles. Even the purple Skittle is actually blackcurrant flavor, which is such a shame. Because blackcurrant is just so mid. I'm sorry, but it's just not that good. Now, some of these on my list, you might say, hey, I know some Americans with wellies, or hey, I actually knew a few Americans that had hot water bottles, but blackcurrant is almost completely unknown to Americans, with less than 0.1% of Americans having even had a blackcurrant in their lives. I might actually make an entire extra video about this topic because I find it so interesting, and I think you will too, but spoiler alert, basically blackcurrants were banned in the States for many, many years, and so we found something better, the grape. Okay, we have grape flavored things, and grapes are delicious. Obviously grapes exist in the UK too, but not really the grape flavor. You cannot find many grape flavored things here, as it's been replaced with a worse fruit, the blackcurrant. If you never have had grape jelly before, you're missing out.
Why would they stop blackcurrants in the USA?
I have no idea.
We'll have to watch one of his latest videos and find out.
We need to know.
We need to know. Yeah, do you know? Let us know. Do you know what? All these years, until very recently, I hadn't even realised there was no blackcurrant anything over here.
I didn't even realise that either, which is weird because I would have blackcurrant flavoured things a lot. It's funny when something just gets discreetly removed.
Yeah.
Although I have noticed all the grape flavoured things.
Yeah, which I've never really tried.
Grape jam? Oh, jelly. I don't know. I mean, it's wrong to say you don't like something without trying it, but it just doesn't sound particularly appealing.
No, it doesn't. Not like the good old juicy blackcurrant.
Yeah, indeed. So much flavour is packed into a blackcurrant.
It's a great little fruit, isn't it?
It is. It's a corker.
We all know that British electrical plugs are superior as a feat of engineering that prevents shocks. I couldn't tell you the amount of times that I was shocked as a child, physically shocked, by unplugging or plugging in my Nintendo and whatnot. I could. It's probably like at least 4 times, but I remember each of those times because I'm in formative years and I learned very early on to be very afraid of outlets. It was genuinely scary, and that's pretty much not a thing here due to how British plugs are designed. They're like butterscotch in that they're always grounded. When I told this story to my friend Luke, he looked at me like I had 3 heads and went, how is that supposed to be a shared experience? I've never been shocked. So kids here, they get to have safe outlets. Lucky you.
I feel like I have an irrational fear of plugs. Maybe not irrational, but a heightened fear of plugs because my granddad was so worried that we were always going to get electrocuted all the time.
Yeah.
Even if he was standing a few feet away from it, he thought somehow it was going to. So
Oh my goodness.
Nana and Granddad's plug sockets always had the extra safety precaution of a
The child
Childproof
plastic cover thing. That there'd be plastic that you plugged into the wall socket, and then if you wanted to plug something in, you'd have to take this plastic cover off and put the plug in. And he still had it when you were in your 20s. They still had those. They still had those in there because Granddad thought it was a good safety feature.
Yeah, I think they are quite a nice safety feature when you have small children.
Yeah, because they do like to put their fingers in little holes and things.
Or dogs.
Oh, yeah.
I remember Layla when she was a puppy, she always seemed to want to put her tongue in them.
Oh,
do you remember that?
Oh, it was terrible, wasn't it? It was petrifying. You know, oh, she got her tongue out near the electrical socket.
But what you might not know is those incredibly commonplace switches next to every single British outlet to allow you to cut off power specifically to that single appliance are practically non-existent in the US. Yeah, I know, another reason to fear American electronics. The biggest reason they're mandatory in the UK is for how much safer they make plugging things in. In America, when you plug a plug-in to a powered-on outlet, as the pins get closer to where you're connecting to, you may have some electricity jumping out or arcing to connect to the pins, and other times, you hear that terrifying crackle sound as things connect. I've definitely had more than one outlet in the States that ended up burned like this.
Some of my plugs in the USA do have a switch to turn them off and on, but it's usually on the wall on the other side of the room.
Oh yes, like up here, one of those turns all the ones on a certain level off. It's not convenient.
It's not convenient.
It's confusing.
And it's confusing because you never know. There's still switches in my house. I have no idea which plug socket they're turning on and off. Because, you just haven't found out yet. You haven't had something plugged in that you're using at the same time as you touch the wall switch, I suppose.
Yeah.
So it's not as convenient. You never really know if it's on or off. Like in the UK, you can see clearly if it's on or off because there'll be the red thing usually that tells you if it's on or off.
Yeah.
So yeah, much more safe, much more practical. I don't know why America doesn't do this.
No, and also the plugs come out so easily. So when you're vacuuming, I used to say hoovering, but it doesn't translate. I often pull the plug out, you stretched overhead
Yes.
And it just comes out whoosh, just like that.
It does, yeah. They don't grip in the wall.
No, like they do in the UK, really grip hold and you stop, wouldn't you? You wouldn't wrench the plug out in the UK.
I think the USA could really improve their plug socket situation in general.
Not that we're experts on such things.
We're really not
We don't know all the technical thingies behind it. But
No.
Brits absolutely love their pantomimes, or pantos as they like to call them, which are really, really popular during the Christmas period. And if you thought Dora the Explorer was just some sort of fun show for children, you'd be surprised. Adults here absolutely get super involved in the pantos as well. I've seen a little panto at Kew Gardens once, and it involved a fairy, I think. In fact, I think most traditionally are based on old children's stories, but simply put, it's a performance where the cast are like, "Wah?" And the crowd is like, "He's right there," or "He's behind you, it's on your dress," something like that. If I said something like, "You all subscribe to my YouTube channel," you'd say, "Oh, no, we don't." Damn, I mean, I was hoping for, yes, we do. But I appreciate the, reality check, that's fine.
right, as a professional actor, Lucy, who starred in many a panto.
Many a panto.
What is a panto for our American viewers?
It is a form of participatory theatre, as he says, where the audience is expected to join in with known lines. Look behind you, it's over there, boo, hiss. Everyone knows what you're meant to say, and when you're meant to say it, the actors will cue something and the audience will say it back.
Yeah.
It's usually light-hearted fun based on a maybe famous fairy tale, like Jack and the Beanstalk.
Cinderella. It's a lot of women playing men's roles and men playing women's roles. So there's always a pantomime dame, which is usually one or two men dressed as women. So say the Cinderella, the dames would be the ugly sisters.
Yes.
There'd be Prince Charming, who'd be a young, attractive woman with a lot of
Yeah, a lot of
this going on.
Yeah.
The jokes sometimes would be not only aimed at children, there'd be jokes going right over the children's head, very adult jokes about things in the current media and the news. It's just such a lot of fun. And it doesn't matter if you go to a big professional one in the West End or whether you go to a village hall. The concept is very much the same. And, it really is a fun thing to do. So if you come over for Christmas, check it out.
Give it a try. Americans, if you've seen a pantomime, let us know, what did you think of it? If you've enjoyed this video, then please give us a big thumbs up and maybe hit subscribe to follow us on YouTube. We'll see you again soon. Oh no, we won't.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, you will.